You look at the clock and realize you've wasted another day. You wonder, where did all the time go? It seems like just yesterday that you had high hopes for the day, but now you're just counting down the minutes until you can go home and relax. Well, if you feel like you're wasting your time, don't worry, because you're not alone. In fact, we all waste time every single day without even realizing it. And if we want to make the most of our lives, it's important that we stop wasting time. But how do we do that? Well, let me share with you 3 hidden habits that steal your time. Habit number 1, constantly checking your phone. You may not realize it, but you check your phone 96 times a day. Yes, you heard that right. The average person checks their phone 96 times a day. This means that you are distracted from what you are doing for an average of 47 minutes a day. The problem is that every time you get distracted, it takes 5 to 10 minutes to get back on track. Why does it take so long to refocus? Well, when you get distracted, your brain has to shift its attention away from the task at hand and towards the distraction. This process of shifting your attention takes time, and it can be especially difficult if the distraction is something that you enjoy doing, such as playing a game or scrolling through social media. For example, imagine you are in the middle of writing an email when suddenly you get a notification on your phone. You may think to yourself, just a quick glance won't hurt, but studies show that it actually does hurt. When you take a quick look at your phone, you are actually breaking your concentration, and it can take up to 15 minutes for you to get back on track. So how do we avoid this habit? Well, the key is to set fixed times to check your phone instead of checking it constantly throughout the day. For example, you could decide to check your phone first thing in the morning, then again at noon, and finally in the evening. By setting these fixed times, you will be less likely to get distracted, and you will be able to focus on the task at hand. This may seem like a small change, but it can make a big difference in terms of productivity. In fact, research has shown that people who spend less time on their phones are more productive, more focused, and have better mental health. So if you want to make the most of your day, set some fixed times to check your phone and stick to them. Now that we've talked about the first habit that wastes our time, let's move on to the second one, which is multitasking. You may think that you're being productive by multitasking, but studies have shown that this is actually a myth. In fact, multitasking can actually decrease your productivity by up to 40%. For example, let's say that you're trying to reply to some emails while reading a report. You might think that you're being efficient by doing both tasks at the same time, but studies have shown that you're actually taking twice as long to do both tasks when you multitask. Also, the quality of your work will suffer. You may make mistakes when proofreading because your mind is elsewhere. In fact, research has found that the brain works best when it's focused on one task at a time. When you try to multitask, you're actually switching your attention between different tasks very quickly. This constant switching takes a lot of effort, and eventually it leads to mistakes and decreased productivity. Not only that, but multitasking can also lead to increased stress levels and burnout. When you're trying to do too much at once, you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself. This can lead to feelings of being overwhelmed and eventually burnout. So how do we avoid this habit? Well, there are many techniques that you can use to stop multitasking, but my favorite one is the Pomodoro Technique. This technique involves setting a timer for 25 minutes and working on one task until the timer goes off. After the timer goes off, you take a 5-minute break, and then you repeat the process. This technique is effective because it forces you to focus on one task at a time. It also helps to take regular breaks so that you don't burn out. If you want to learn more about the Pomodoro Technique, you can find more information online. Now let's move on to the third habit that wastes our time. And before we do that, I've got a question for you. How many times have you been asked if you can help someone with something and you end up spending your entire day helping everyone else? Well, if you're nodding your head right now, you know exactly what I'm talking about. We all love to help others, but sometimes we take it to the extreme. We say yes to everything and end up wasting our valuable time. When you say yes to everyone else, you're essentially saying no to your own goals and priorities. Let's face it, if you're spending all your time helping others, you're not going to have any time left over to work on your own projects or even take some time for yourself. Now, this doesn't mean that you shouldn't ever help anyone ever again, but it does mean that you need to be careful about who you say yes to. Think about it this way. If you wouldn't help a stranger, why should you waste your precious time helping someone who isn't a priority in your life? The truth is that most people won't help a stranger, and yet they expect us to drop everything we're doing to help them. When you say yes to everyone, you're essentially allowing them to control your time. And this is something that we cannot afford to do. So how do we avoid this habit? Well, the best way to deal with this is simply to start saying no more often. Of course, this can be difficult, especially if you're used to always saying yes, but it's definitely possible. One way to make it easier is to have a polite response ready to go. Here's a good one that you can use. I'd love to help, but I need to finish this first. By saying something like this, you're letting the person know that you're not willing to drop everything you're doing to help them, but you're also being polite about it. When you say no to others, you're freeing up your time to work on your own goals and priorities. And that's really important because it allows you to be in control of your time. You see, when you're in control of your time, you're in control of your life. Now I understand that this may be difficult at first, but the more you practice saying no, the easier it will become. Remember, you're not going to please everyone all the time, and that's okay. It's more important that you stay focused on your goals and priorities. To recap, let's take a look at the 3 habits that waste your time. Habit number 1, constantly checking your phone. To fix this, set fixed times during the day to check your phone. Habit number 2, multitasking. To fix this, use the Pomodoro Technique. Work for 25 minutes and take a 5-minute break. Habit number 3, saying yes to everything. To fix this, learn to say no politely. I'd love to help, but I need to finish this first. Look, fixing just one of these habits today can save you hours each week. Imagine what would happen if you fixed all 3. If you're still with me, then thank you for watching this video until the end. As a small token of appreciation, I'd like to offer you a free gift. It's a done-for-you daily planner that will help you get more things done in less time. Go to the link below to get your free gift. Also, if you found this video helpful, then please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. It's the best way to support the channel and help me grow. Thank you for watching, and have a wonderful day.